Hey, what's up, guys? And welcome back to another Magic the Gathering online challenge. We're back with Karn Eldrazi Ramp on the draw for game one. We'll be drawn to a different land, if not, we'll Bajuka Bog on one. Let's see. Okay, in that case, I'll start with a Temple, pass. This allows me to hold the Bog. That way you can go Forest, Talisman, and either hold the Kozilek's command or Sowing Mycospawn. If we draw into a Soul Land, then we just go directly into Kozilek's command. Hedge Maze, Surveil Land, Street Wraith could be... I'm thinking this could be Living End. Meticulous Archive, yeah, looking like Living End at a glance. So I definitely want a Soul Land if possible. Perfect. In that case, I will hold. There's Curator of Mysteries, Street Wraith, and hold. Let's see if they find the land. They do. Fetch. Do they go for it is the question. As long as they don't have a Commandeer, then we should be able to K-Command, get rid of a Street Wraith and a Curator. They go for it. K-Command. That's right, we can't go for spawns. I'll have to go for Scry Exile, Street Wraith Curator, done. And done, Scry Draw. Bottom draw, and pass. Good seemed argument to have going for the Utopia Sprawl. This is A-okay by me. Ugin. So I could go Forest, Sowing Mycospawn, not kicked. Go Ugin Lab, up to 5, 6, 7 Ugin, and I think at that point we're pretty much locked in. Ugin Lab, Imprint, Emrakul, Resolve, Talisman, and pass, and pass. Attack for 4, I'll take the 4, draw, Sire's 7 deaths. I'll go to combat. Attack. Play Cavern of Souls. Name Eldrazi. Ugin target Street Wraith. Force Negation resolves. Street Wraith down though. Misty Rainforest fetch for Surveil Land. Surveil trigger resolves. Street Wraith to yard, Street Wraith down. Well, Ugin did what needed to do. We keep a Sire in hand. Yep. Cycle the Windcaller Avian. Do they have another Cascade? They do. That's okay. We have the Sire 7 deaths. So they'll get back, what, 2 creatures? Windcaller and Street Wraith. Yep, that's alright. 3 types in yard. In that case, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Sire's 7 deaths. Yeah, subtlety. If you do, I'll probably Bajuka Bog it. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Subtlety ATBs, put it on top. 7, 9, not dead yet. Jukabog, target you and pass. And pass. Go to combat. Take the hits. Down to 7. Cycle. Endurance. Target my yard. That is fine. Draw. No subtlety then. I'm actually curious on something real quick. A block of the 14, 5. So I could Kozilek's command, ramp, exile. We could exile the Windcaller Avian, for example. They can't do anything about it unless they have a Flare of Denial. X equals 7. Windcaller down. Sire 7 deaths and pass. And hold on the off chance that it's relevant. And opponent scoops it up. We'll take the W against Living End. Alright, game 1 down. Let's move on to game 2. Bring in Soulish Jailer. Bring in Consign to Memory. Chalice of the Void is good to have in the side. So where's Tormod's Crypt though? I wonder. Do I have anything for Living End? I did for the last iteration of the Gruul, but I don't think so for Karn. Yeah, I mean, Karn into Chalice is good. Tormod's Crypt is kind of situational, depending on whether or not they're on Living End or Inevitable Betrayal. Trinisphere is also relevant. Cut Emrakul. Well, I'm tempted to cut Sire 7 deaths. It can be kind of difficult to deal with as well. We can cut the Ghost Quarter, keep the Bajuka Bog, cut Sire, cut Return. Is that enough? One too many. So then I could bring Sire back in, or I could just bring Wreck and Ghost Quarter. Because yeah, if they like grab Null Drifter, World Breaker, or Chrysalis, so what, right? Null Drifter actually can be pretty good though, I will admit. I wonder if we do want to just keep Sire in. It can just be really difficult to deal with sometimes, the only thing. So maybe do this. does mean that we're down pretty significantly though. So maybe I do this instead. That way we still have 9 mana value spells. Yeah. Okay, let's do that. I'll draw for game 2. I'll keep and pass. Otawara, pass, draw. I'll go with an Ugin's Lab. The thing is that they go Living End, having a Null Drifter in your yard would be really good. Malevolent Rumble, also pretty solid. Ugin, though, is just in general a really great card. I think I'm going to go Ugin Lab and imprint Ugin. I'm going to want to go for the Null Drifter, I think, for the Evoke, potentially. Because they sometimes like 50-50 split whether or not they go Living End versus Inevitable Betrayal. So it's kind of hard to say what is what, right? Lush Portico. Endurance into yard. And draw. I'm gonna go Windswept Teeth. I'm going to fetch for a Breeding Pool Shock. And I'm going to Null Drifter. That way you can get a body on board that is in fact a Living End. And pass. Street Wraith into yard. Null Drifter. There's our Soulish Jailer. Unfortunately a bit late to the party. And pass. Street Wraith to the yard. Land. Street Wraith. Okay. K command. I'm gonna go Temple. Going to cast Sowing Mycospawn. You have a consigned memory. If you do, you don't play it. So in that case, I'm gonna go E-Temp instead of Bajuka Bog. And attempt to resolve Soulish Jailer. Alright, Cascades offline until Jailer is off board. Pass. Opponent's passing. I think I hold up command then for as much as I can do. We'll go, let's see, should probably eat Malevolent Rumble here. I will go with a Sowing Mycospawn. Can always bring back Worldbreaker later. Play a Forest. Kick Mycospawn. After their white source. You have a consigned memory. They float the green. Little Bajuka Bog. Bajuka Bog. Target you. This way, if you do land to Living End, I'll get a Breaker and a Null Drifter. But that also, again, requires that you get rid of Soulish Jailer to begin with. Attack with Mycospawn and pass. And I think we're in the driver's seat at this point in time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Meticulous Archive. Yep. Commandeer. Draw. Karn. Combat. Actually, if I was going to play Karn, I should have done so before combat. That way they've commandeered, funny enough. Malevolent Rumble. Let's see if they have a force or a commandeer. There's the commandeer. So they'll cast it. Is out in the forest. I imagine they take the Basiju. Chooses subtlety. Interesting. Alright. Well, I'll play E-Temp and attempt to resolve KGC. Does KGC resolve? There's force, subtlety's gone. In that case, I'll just hold up the K command and also hold up the ability to return World Breaker to hand if needed. And hold. Why'd they not take the Basiju to deal with Jailer? I'm confused by that. Unless they have another way to deal with Jailer. Return World Breaker to hand. Get rid of a Jukabog. Assign to memory. Again, go to combat. Yeah, I think we more or less just have this on lock now. No blocks, down to 1. World Breaker. Go from the white source again. I guess we could also go after green for that way they can't activate Basiju. Give and take, I suppose. Floats a blue. Ugin Lab, no imprint. And pass, hold up, consign. So I have a command X equals 1 if needed. Colossal Sky Turtle, activated ability, resolves. Yep, that's fine. And opponent scoops it up. I guess they didn't have the Cascade. I'll take the 2-0 win against Living End. We'll be back for round 2. Alright, and we're back for round 2. On the draw for game 1. We'll keep this hand. Go Misty Rainforest, fetch forest for... Or fetch for forest, Utopia Sprawl for red. I was going to go Talisman the turn after. Misty Rain. No fetch, draw. K command. Would like to see a soul land if possible. Forest, sprawl red. And pass. Misty Rainforest fetch. Hedge Maze. Island. Okay. Not sure what this is just yet. I can say with certainty that it's likely not living end. Okay, no, it is still living end. Okay. So they find a Lush Portico. I mean, we could just Bajukabog then, call it a day. Draw. Myco spawn. Well, I can't actually Null Drifter, otherwise I would consider that. Talisman of Curiosity. The Jukabog target you and pass. This way, Enta's gone, so unless they have Street Wraith, they won't have anything to actually bring back. End step. There's Street Wraith, that's fine. A Street Wraith is tolerable. Breeding Bull, shocked 15, and passing, Soul Land. There's a Soul Land. So what I can do then is, we could take some risks, right? I'm going to start by casting Sowing Mycospawn. There's a few things I can do here. Because, yeah, if I go Null Drifter Evoke, it puts a Null Drifter into Yard. If I had another 7-minute value spell, then I can Cake Man for 1. So my Mycospawn could get rid of, let's say, a Lush Portico to stop for an Ardent Bleed. They would need another land. That's a thought. Alternatively, I can just hold up K command. Moon's Lab. Null Drift. In that case, I mean, we could X equals 2 or X equals 4. I'm going to hold up the K command then. Three for Endurance. Endurance ETB. Target me, that's fine. It's possible they don't have it. If I X equals 4, we could kick twice. End step goes 2, 6, 10. 10 minus 4 would be 6. Of course, they have a Commandeer here. This would be kind of rough. And done. Do you have a force? Looks like a force. Flare of Denial. That was surprising. Okay, that's good to know. Catacombs. Let's get rid of the white source. I'll go Eldrazi Temple. And I'll go Eldrazi Temple. Hedge Maze trigger. Kozilek's command top and pass. Cycle the Street Winder, or River Winder rather. Cycle, be looking for a white source. They could have Ardent Plea in hand, Curator, and Curator. Okay. I'll block, because that way it gets it into Yard. Draw. I will kick. And kick the Hedge Maze. Grab Eldrazi Temple. Play Verdant Catacombs. And pass. This way we can K command X equals 4. Go to combat. Go to blocks. End step. Fetch Verdant Catacombs for a forest. And then let's K command. I don't really need mana right now. So I'm going to scry and exile cards from Yard. Let's go Riverwinder, Curator. Yes. Actually, I can go Curator. Right. Can go 4 deep. And done. Does it resolve? I'll leave just a Street Wraith. Okay, return bottom. Let's see. I'm gonna go Null Drifter top, Chrysalis top, Ugin top and draw. And my turn, draw. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Ugin, target endurance. Cast trigger resolves. Curator cycle. Looking for a commandeer or a force. Ugin resolves. Plus, draw a card. And I will play Writhing Chrysalis. Ugin trigger, no targets, and pass in full. Fetch with the Misty Rain. I mean, we're in a strong position right now. And pass. Endurance. Evoke hits my yard. This way I don't get the Myco spawns back, but that's fine. Here's the Ardent Plebe. You're right, going for the white sources. Living End. Living End resolves. Chrysalis on the stack. Endurance gets rid of Chrysalis. Yep, that's fine. Draw. Null Drifter cast. 4, 5, 6, 7. Triggers, get rid of Curator, ETB, I'll plus what we draw into, return Null Drifter to hand, I'll evoke a Null Drifter, exile the Endurance, and Bone scoops it up. Good stuff. Solid win for game 1. Let's move on to game 2. Bring in Consigned Memory, Soulless Jailer, Trinisphere. Cut Emrakul, Sire, Chrysalis. I guess actually not the Sire, but the Chrysalis and Ghost Quarter. Right? Oh yeah, and the K returns. Almost forgot the K returns. And run it back. Yeah, I'm surprised that I've run into Living End twice now. Definitely an unexpected matchup, but not one that I am unprepared for. Yeah, this is good. If we don't draw into a land, we'll play Bojuka Bog first, which is not ideal, but it is what it is. We'll keep. Pass. Lush Portico resolves. Trigger resolves. Street Wraith the Yard. Draw. Bojuka Bog. Target you. Goodbye Street Wraith. Pass. And pass. Cycle for a Hedge Maze ETBs. Trigger resolves. Another Ent into Yard. Draw. Rumble, not yet. First we Jailer, pass. Need a subtlety. Do you have a subtlety? Opponent's Tinkin. I mean, I feel like if they do, it's right to cast it, of course. I wonder if the concern is that the subtlety will have to exile their one Cascade spell. Jailer ETBs. Pass. Next turn I'll go Talisman. Hopefully find a land off top. That'd be ideal. 3 to Fairy. Well, that was unexpected. Could definitely use a land now. They draw a card. Draw. No lands, jeez. Okay. Go back with Jailer. Pass. Again, do you have a subtlety? You do have the subtlety. Alright. Well, let's see if you have the Cascade. Press the enemy. Does mean you don't have any lands on top. Yeah, that Teferi bounce was unfortunate. Cycle the Riverwinder. Do you have a third land? So they're either looking for... There's a third land. Tap. No Cascade. So they're missing a Cascade spell. That's what's happening right now. Again then, Jailer, pass. Consigned Memory. Cycle the Riverwinder. Jailer resolves. Pass. Cycle the Street Wraith. Land. 4 cards in hand. Take up the Fairy. Can bounce the Soulless Jailer next turn. Draw. Land. Ugh. Depending on whether or not we hold up the K command, actually we can't hold it, so it actually might just be better for me to play it now. And try and scry draw into something of value. Flare of Denial, Force Negation, that resolves, will pass. So again, they'll be able to bounce the Soulless Jailer and pass. But they only want to bounce the Soulless Jailer if they have the Cascade spell, right? Looks like they do. Shardless Agent. Do you have Inevitable Betrayal or only Living End? And shows Inevitable Betrayal, so they will grab a Sire 7 Deaths in that case. So we need to advance into Karn for E-Bridge is what I need to do then. I need a land off top. Thank God for that noise. So then I can Talisman of Impulse. Utopia Sprawl. 4 blue. Malevolent Rumble. I'll grab another E-Temp. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, I guess that spawn is 7. So yes, we'll be able to go temp into E-Bridge. And passing, Misty Rainforest fetch, probably for a Surveil land. There's Meticulous Archive. And leaves the card on top. I mean, if they were to go for... If they hit a Living End, I feel like that's not necessarily a bad thing. I'm not going to block. Take the 9 down to 10. 1, 2, 3. I'll hold up the blade to respond if they target the spawn of the fairy. They target the sprawl instead. That's actually pretty smart. Passes in full. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now I'm short on Karn for E-Bridge. And play what the fresh what? Active abilities cannot be activated. Oh, well, ain't that a bitch. Huh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Activated abilities of artifacts, creatures, and planeswalkers cannot be activated. Huh. Aren't you a bitch? So what's my plan then? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, that is flying. I can mitigate 5 damage. 2, 4, 7. So I'm not dead. At least not yet. Imprint the Ugin. Cast Jailer. Does Jailer resolve? Utopia Sprawl. 4 red. And pass. Ooh. And pass. So we double block the Sire's 7 deaths. Short of a Sire's 7 deaths of my own, I think I die, right? Mitigate 5, 2, 4, 7, down to 8, down to 3. Ugin's Lab. I can block 7 of Breaker, but that's about it. 2, 4, 6, 7. I don't have blue for Null Drifter. Maybe I should have went blue. Or the draw 2. Yeah, probably. Huh. That just was not expected. Yeah, I think that is that. Because I can kill you, but then I can't block you, so I take the 3, so I lose? Yes. We'll concede. Alright, well that was surely unexpected. Yeah, it didn't help that we didn't draw into any lands for such a long time. I will cut the gemstone and bring back in a chrysalis. And run it back, all the same. Maybe you should bring in Dismember. Not a horrible idea. Only problem is if I did, though, I need to cut both Chrysalis. And I'm doubtful they played that many copies of the Clarion Conqueror. So I don't know. I don't know if maybe Dismember is worth it or not. But, like, if they didn't have that, we were able to resolve Karn into Bridge, then we would have been in a good position. So hard to say. Interesting. I want to play for game 3. I mean, if we draw into a land across 2 turns, we'd be in a decent position. I think I might mulligan this hand. Because, like, we really do nothing for upwards of 3 turns. Mulligan. I'll keep. Pitch a World Breaker. Need to draw into a land, though. Mulligan Slab. Imprint Breaker. Cast Talisman and pass. Or at least I can go Kozilek's Command X1 next turn if absolutely necessary. Not preferred, but if we don't draw into a land, I think it is valid. Alright, well, that's what we're going to do. Worst case scenario here would be a Commandeer, Street 8th Cycle. Misty Rainforest Fetch. Did you find a Consign? Hedge Maze Surveil. Trinisphere. Trinisphere top and draw. It's not a land, but it'll work. And pass. And draw. Trinisphere, pass. Kind of end up in the same situation that we were in for game 2 if they find Teferi to bounce it, right? What we need now is lands. We're still we're still ahead with the amount of mana that we have available, but we want to be even further, right? We want to find soul lands. We want to find a green source. Right now, a green source would probably be the best thing we could find, that we can go Utopia Sprawl for blue, Null Drifter, draw into a land. Why would they pitch the Teferi? That's concerning. That feels like maybe a force, but they wouldn't be able to force now. Yeah, they can't force on our turn with Trinisphere on board, which is fun. So they have a second Teferi. Of course, they'd still have to Teferi and then bounce. They miss a land drop? Looks like it. That's good news for us. Ardent Pleatiard. Mycospawn. Yeah, we'll cast it. Worst case scenario here is a Consigned Memory. We could Bajuka Bog, but I think I need to advance my own board state. So I think going a Forest Utopia Sprawl is not a bad idea. Alternatively, you could go Cavernous Souls. E-Temp is also tempting. Alternatively, I can go for a fetch. I think Forest or Breed. Let's go Breeding Pool. Yeah, let's go Breeding Pool. Breeding Pool Shock. Utopia Sprawl. I'm an idiot. Should have put that in play tapped. So I should really be at 19 right now. We'll see if that 2 damage does affect me. Yeesh. Alright, opponent goes to end step again. Writhing Chrysalis is an option. It does ramp us. Writhing Chris and pass. Go to combat and attack. And short of a Besieger, this Trinisphere is going to be hard to deal with. Could be the turtle. Scarlet Turtle bounces Chrysalis. Interesting. How does Sky Turtle read? Target creature. Yeah, never mind. So Trinisphere pretty good in this matchup. End step, draw, land. Null Drifter again, jeez. In that case, Writhing Chrysalis. I mean, it's a ramp 2. It's basically just an E temp for 4. As I always say, it's basically just a second Soin Mycospawn in a lot of cases. Down to 10. Lethal's not on board yet, but almost is. Riverwinder. They get stuck on lands. And Bone scoops it up. We'll take the win. Oof. Thank you, Trinisphere. Alright, well, 2 back-to-back living ends, and yeah, they just needed a 3rd land. Jeez. I mean, I don't blame them for keeping that. Not in the slightest. But that being said, we'll be back for round 3. Alright, and we're back for match 3 on the play for game 1. We'll keep this. I'd love to draw into another Soul Land if possible. We'll imprint an Ugin. Malevolent Rumble would be good. Soul Land would be good. So we have a decent number of hits. Pass. And pass. Commercial District. Keeps it on top. Ghost Quarter. I'll play Stomping Grounds. Tempted to play it Shocked. I'll play it Shocked and hold. That way I have a K Command X1. What are we playing against is the question. Arid Mesa, no fetch. I am going to scry draw. Done. Rumble top. Draw. Sprawl. Rumble. Breeding Pool. Instead of Talisman. You could go Talisman. Yeah, let's go Talisman. Haven't played a land yet this turn. So we'll go Ghost Quarter, Talisman, Utopia Sprawl for green, and pass. Fetch with the Arid Mesa, Elegant Parlor. Ooh, this is Storm. Okay, so we're in a bit of danger then. What are my outs? Fetch. I mean, if they go off on turn 3, not much can be done. Interesting. Yeah, the Commercial District, I was thinking that there was a possibility, but the green threw me off. There's Ral. Ritual, trigger, so we need to just have them fail at this point, so we'll just pass in full. Nothing but lands. The Artist Talent and a Ritual. Yikes. I mean, if they play the Artist Talent, then the Ritual, they'll be able to cycle, then have 3 left over. Reckless Impulse. Why not play the Artist Talent first? Weird. Wins the flip, does not flip. Another round, a Glimpse. What else do they have in hand? Ritual. Wins the flip. Doesn't want to flip yet because they just played the Row. Reckless Impulse from hand. Loses the flip. Finds an Elegant Parlor. Desperate Ritual. Wins the flip. Flips Row. Actually, I guess they can't flip Row. This is a bit risky on their part because they don't have a mana reducer. They'd have to play the other Row, yeah. And then minus Row. Manamorphose. Still confused why they haven't played the Artist Talent. Maybe they want the last card in hand? Loses the flip. Loses the flip down to 12. I need you to lose 12 more flips, opponent. Imagine. It's not the wrong possibility, but it'd be funny as hell. Ren's Resolve. Lose the flip. Down to 11. Noxious? What the? What? Huh. Well, that's strange. Wins the flip. Flips the Row. Plays Row. Minus Row. Should probably look at their exile, but they have the Wish, so realistically speaking, they should just win here. Flips Row. No mana reducers. Valakut Awakening. Maybe looking for Grape Shot. Draws 3 cards. Again, still strange that they haven't played the Artist Talent this entire time. Draws a card of Manamorphose. I mean, at this point, if they just wish, they had the passive flames. Yeah, so just wish for Grape Shot and win. Like, you don't even need any mana reducers at this point. Cast the Ritual. Okay, there's a Grape Shot. Must have been in hand. Or was it in exile? Can't recall at this point. Okay. Unfortunate. So that is Ruby Storm. Lost for game 1. Let's move on to game 2. Yeah, did consider whether or not holding the K command was right, but I couldn't get a read because of the commercial district. So Jailer, Jailer, Dismember, Trinisphere, Trinisphere, Chalice, EE, Brain. A Ghost Quarter Gemstone, K returns, KGC, an Emrakul, and a Sire. 7 deaths? No, both Sires, because they really do nothing in this matchup. So since we're cutting the Gemstone, I can keep a Sire 7 deaths. Is that right? Is that how we're going about this? Let me confirm. Yes, that is correct. Alright, let's run it back. On the play for game 2, I will keep, we're looking for a soul land, specifically a lab off top. Misty Rainforest, fetch for a forest. Utopia Sprawl for red and pass. Yeah, if we can just draw into a lab, we have a Chalice X2 on 2. Otherwise, we should be good to play it for X3, X2 on 3. Unless they just somehow win on turn 2, which is not the wrong possibility. It would be rough for us, though. Worst case scenario here actually is probably a prismatic ending on this Utopia Sprawl. Because then we're pretty much dead to rights. Commercial districts. That Noxious Revival is interesting. Would love to understand the rationale there. Draw. Temp. Well, in that case... Talisman of Impulse. Rumble. Jailer. And pass. And pass. Two hate pieces better than one. If I can draw into a land, we can go Jailer into Chalice. Sacred Foundry Shock. Ruby Medallion resolves. Windswept Teeth. Fetch. For a Breeding Pool Shock. Cast Soulless Jailer. Cast Chalice of the Void. X equals 2. Pass. And pass. 2, 4, 5, 6. 1 off of Worldbreaker to get rid of Medallion. Thankfully now Brotherhood End actually does sweep both Jailer and Chalice. We do need to be worried about that. Draw. Sanctum of Ugin. Three types in yard. Get rid of Ruby Medallion. Floating. For what? Valakut Awakening, draw 6, I guess. Like, they need answers to my board. Yep, draw 6. Fetch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I mean, we could go Sanctum of Ugin for another Soulless Jailer. Maybe. Alternatively, I can just go Sowing Mycospawn. Kick a land out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We could also just go K command next turn for X equals 5. I'll go no or yes. I'm gonna go no for now. Yeah, the K command will pass and pass. Again, they have to answer both the Chalice and the Jailer. We'll scry draw Digging Deep next turn. They can Prismatic Ending. Yep, get the Chalice off board. So I'm likely to then K command next turn and grab a Jailer. We'll scry draw Ramp. Trigger Sanctum, grab Jailer. Yep. That is a good plan. Not to mention we could just find Jailer, I suppose. Alternatively, if they play something like Ral, we exile Ral and ramp, trigger Sanctum, grab Jailer. Again, have 2 Jailers on board. Plug in Parlor trigger. If I had an Artist Talent on board, they have to rely on impulse draws. but they can't do anything with those. They can play the Row. I wonder if I hold up the command. Burning Catacombs, fetch. I think I will still play the command. Go Forest. K command. Scry draw. And I think we hold up a green source. And done. Trigger. Yes. I'll grab a Soulish Jailer. Actually, I see 5, 6, 11. We're short on the Emrakul still. So I'll go Jailer. Rumble. Talisman Breaker. Utopia Sprawl. Utopia Sprawl bottom. Talisman bottom. Chrysalis bottom. Breaker bottom? Yeah, not really sold on Breaker right now. So Rumble top. Play Rumble. Bajuka Bog, Emrakul. 5. I think we go Emrakul for the following turn. Emrakul, 6, 11. Second Jailer. Pass, go to combat for 5. And pass. Next turn we can Emrakul. So they play the Ral, we'll just swing the Ral into the Emrakul. That's not a big deal. They could always flip the Ral. Red. Red. If they flip the Ral, we can just hit it with World Breaker. Emrakul is lethal. Short of a Brotherhood End, it's going to be really hard to deal with Jailer. They still have the mana for it. Artist Talent now makes it a bit easier for them. So now they no longer have to rely on impulse draws. Keep in mind though that Ral they won't be able to cast things off of if they do flip. There's a Past in Flames. Thankfully they can't play anything from the yard. So that's fine. Like I said, the main thing here would be a Brotherhood End. Be the only thing that I'm truly concerned about. How does Ral's ult read? You may cast instant sorceries without paying their mana cost. This turn. Okay. I mean, there's a world where I might just try and like cycle their cards through when I take control of Emrakul. Alright. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, if they Brotherhood End, we'll still be able to play the Emrakul's the problem for them, right? So I need to have get a Brotherhood End in hand, and then be able to go off from there. Yeah, I would have loved to have seen a Trinosphere when we were digging earlier, but no such luck. Trinosphere would have been mighty good in covering our bases. Because does that dodge Brotherhood End? I think it does. Okay, so they might be going for Brotherhood End. When's the flip? They can then go Desperate Ritual. They pitched a Mountain, so that was a Wish from hand. The thing is they don't have multiple mana reducers right now, so that Past in Flames is kind of hard for them to do much with. But they can go Desperate Ritual into Brotherhood End. Yikes. Noxious Revival. Targets Reckless Impulse. Why? Oh, discards Reckless Impulse. What did they target? Puts Valakut Awakening on top of their library? Interesting. Why though? 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Our turn, comrade. And just for good measure, get the Trinosphere. Go to combat. Four, Artist Talent, Valakut Awakening. I mean, if I just play your Valakut Awakening and put nothing, Valakut Awakening, play, and then do nothing with that. Go to combat. Block with Emrakul. Still have an Artist Talent in hand. Past in Flames can't be cast, so I can't get it out of the yard. And pass at that point. And pass. That should just be GG's. Alright, opponent scoops it up. All the hate pieces, opponent. I have all of them. Alright, let's move on to game 3. We do want that Gemstone Caverns back, so we'll cut the second Sire's 7 Deaths and run it back as is. We're banking on Dismember for Ral. I'll keep it. We'll pass. Love to see a K command. Commercial District. Yeah, Ruby Medallion would be the worst thing for us to see since we just don't have a clean way to deal with it. Ral to yard? That tells me I think they have a Ral in hand. Draw, Sanctum, Ugin's Lab, Imprint, Emrakul, pass, hold Dismember. Mountain, casting, Ral, put a pause on end step, Dismember, Ral. If they had a Ruby Medallion, they would have played Ruby Medallion, so having Ral down is good. But I would like another K command. No K command, but we can draw 2. I think it's right. Go. We also could just hold up E-Temp, bluffing out a K command. That is another thought. But I think it might be right to go Null Drifter. So I can potentially draw into Chalice, Stone Brain, etc., right? I'm gonna go Cavernous Souls, name Eldrazi. Because I need to set up. Oh, but next turn. Okay, so a mistake. No, 2 mistakes were made. Damn. Reckless Impulse is fine. Scouting Tarn for turn. Passing. I should have still Null Drifted, I think. Eldrazi Temple. Yeah, I think I still should have Null Drifted in retrospect. Draw 2, we would have seen the Lab. We would have seen all 3 of these cards, right? World Breaker, okay, would have saw freaking nothing. That's what we would have seen. Alright. Fetch. So looking for a mana reducer. They've already seen 2 out of their 8. So 6 left in deck. Grape Shot into Yard. We can Bojuka Bog next turn, which would allow us to get rid of Grape Shot in Yard, meaning that they have to go for Wish. Cast. Runs Resolve. It's lands. That's great to see. Pays cost for. I just want to get the Ritual into Yard. That's fine. Pays cost 4. Manamorphose. Surprised they didn't Manamorphose earlier, because it is mana neutral. I guess the Runs Resolve sees more cards at least. 4 cards in hand. 2 lands in exile. So yeah, I think Bojuka Bog is good here. Go Sanctum of Ugin, kick the green. I guess Noxious Revival. No, I think we kick the Elegant Parlor, because that cuts them off of Prismatic Ending. Rumble. That raises some questions. I think we do go Verdant Catacomb. Fetch. For a forest. Malevolent Rumble. Trinosphere. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, we can go both. No, we can't. I can go, so I might go spawn and go for Bojuka Bog. I can either go for Bojuka Bog or I can go for Trinosphere. I can't do both. So in that case, because I could go, so I might go spawn for Lab. Lab would allow me 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah. I guess 11. So we'll be close on Emrakul. In that case, we're just going to go Trinosphere and pass. And pass. Now they need something to hate out Trinosphere. So Prismatic Ending or the like. Sacred Foundry. Shock. Well, that's concerning. Prismatic Ending will have to pay for 3, which they'd have to do anyways. Wear Tear. Artist Talent. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. See, what I've liked to have done is been able to get the Sanctum of Ugin down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, yeah, 8. So it'd be 1 short. I think we can go for World Breaker and Artist Talent, question mark. And if I do that, then they can't, the only way that they can move forward is by cycling. But I wonder if going for Bojuka Bog is better. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 1 short for the Emrakul now. I'm going to 1, 2, 3, 4. 5, 6. Kick a Sowing Myco spawn. I think a Bajukabog will make their life difficult. Get rid of the green source so they only have 2 colors. Bajukabog, target you. Get rid of everything in yard. Play Temple and pass. And pass. Next turn we can get rid of Artist's Talent and play Soulish Jailer. I guess they can level it up. I should have went for Artist's Talent in retrospect. Shit. Pitches the Past in Flames. Because then they wouldn't have the Mana Reducer or a Cycler. So they had the Past in Flames though. Okay, no. We were right. My main concern was that Past in Flames, and we did play around it. Because now if they have nothing, then we're okay. Because it cost them 3 mana to accomplish that Mana Reducer. Next turn we can get rid of the Mana Reducer, get the Jailer, so they have to rely on Impulse draws. Okay, this might be okay. He might just be okay. I was thinking hard here. The question is, what about? Past in Flames, cycle the Row. Really? They need a land. They have a land. They can cast a Desperate Ritual and cycle the land in hand. They cycle the Artist's Talent. Ren's Resolve. Whew. Okay, we're good. We're good. You can Prismatic Ending my spawn, I suppose. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2. So yes, we're good for Sanctum to Worldbreaker. Ooh. Okay. I think we have locked this up. I swear Ruby Storm can go from I'm winning to I'm losing really quickly. Draw. Any reason to go Malevolent Rumble first? So 1, 2. Let's start off with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 11 to 10. Hold up. If I play this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 to 10, which still let me go Worldbreaker, yes, so that's fine. Go Malevolent Rumble. I'll go Sowing Myco Spawn. Play Sanctum of Ugin. 2, 3, 4, 5. Let me actually do it this way. And green. Sack. Target. Artist Talent. Artist Talent down. Yes for Sanctum. Grab a Soulish Jailer. Cast Soulish Jailer. And go to combat. This Prismatic Ending can no longer be cast, and they're just going to be drawing off the top. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, Metamorphose. That does get around it. Is Emrakul even a good choice here is another question. I look at Awakening, draws a card. Yeah, if they were to get rid of Jailer this turn, I guess it would be, right? They pass, they don't though, so I think I just kick a Myco Spawn, call it a day. Unless we draw into something. Wigan's fun. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I mean, yeah, we could just go 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. I need a green though. So yeah, I guess we would be able to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But that would leave only that. So I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Leaving back between 1, 2, 3. Yes, that's fine then. And a bunch of scoops. Yeah, I mean, I'm just mapping out how to play Ugin and then kick a Myco Spawn just so we can do it. But I'm just going to scoop it up. We'll take the win against Ruby Storm. Solid stuff. We'll be back for round 4. Alright, and we're back for round 4 on the draw for game 1. Well, it's kind of interesting. I'm not sure. Oh, it's Devourer, so it could be the mirror match. So, okay, never mind. I was going to say, I'm not sure what the exile the Cavernous Souls. Now I know what the exile the Cavernous Souls return. Goodbye. And pass. Let's see what we're playing against. Is it Tron? Is it Ramp? Either ways, we're going to go... We go Talisman into Rumble or just Rumble? Looks like it is the mirror. Okay. Draw. The K command. So we'll go Rumble. Would have much preferred a... Trying to think here. I could go World Breaker and then K command to try and ramp into something. Otherwise, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'd be short on a kicked Myco Spawn off the top is the problem. I mean, I'm thinking if I grab Breaker 2, it's 3 types in yard, 4 types in yard, 5, 6. I'm gonna go Wooded Foothills instead. And pass 3 types in yard. It'll be 4 types in yard regardless of Wooded Foothills, and we guarantee a land drop. Beseiju, that's unusual. Huh, okay. Malevolent Rumble? Looks like they have a relatively slow hand if that's the case. I mean, Rumble would still be good here. 2, 3, what? Command. Yep, that's smart. We'll do that in kind to them next turn. KGC. Ugh, would have been great. Fetch. We don't really need to go for anything special. We can just go Forest. Go Talisman. And play Talisman. K command X1, ramp, and exile. Keeps you off a kicked Myco Spawn. Next turn we can KGC. And pass in full. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. One short of the Emrakul on 4. Actually, yeah, on 4 on 3. Yeah, on 3. Talisman, we can cut them short with the Karn. That's Malevolent Rumble. And probably grabs a land here. Grabs Windswept Teeth, okay. Utopia Sprawl. So we can sprawl for red. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we could go KGC. K command, hit the spawn. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, so if I command hit the spawn, I think that is right. Would have been nice to be able to go liquid metal coating immediately, but this will work. This cuts him off on 2. All minus KGC. And fetch for a liquid metal coating. And pass. And pass. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 1 short on Emrakul. Is it a sowing Myco spawn or a K command? There's a sowing Myco spawn. They could grab Ghost Quarter. They go for a Temple. Temple's fine. Plays the Windswept Teeth. Draw. Another KGC. Interesting. Do I have an artifact in yard? I don't think I do, right? Confirming I do not. So 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Minus KGC. Yes. For Tormod's Crypt? For Tormod's Crypt. Tormod's Crypt. Target you. Cast Emrakul on 4. And our turn, comrade. Windswept Teeth fetch. Commercial District. 2 unknown cards in hand. Counter souls to yard. They did have an Emrakul. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. Perfect. Go to draw. Finds another Devourer. Go to main. So World Breaker. We'll trigger Sanctum. Fail to find. And opponent scoops it up. Perfect. Alright, this is Eldrazi Ramp. And for game 1, let's move on to game 2 sideboard. We'll bring in Consign to Memory and cut the K return. Not much else to do here, so we'll just run it back as is. A bit dicey. If we draw into a soul land, it would be pretty good. I'll keep it. We're going to try and high roll. Windswept Teeth. Fetch. Forest. Utopia Sprawl. Okay. I'd love to see a soul land here. Lab would be brilliant. Soul land. Underground. Stomping Grounds. Shock. Sprawl. For green or for blue? For green. And pass. So we could do a couple things here next turn. Rumble. Is a Stone Rain. Ancient Stirrings. Chooses Verdant Catacombs. Plays Verdant Catacombs. Passing. Another E-Temp. Okay, so that tells me a lot of what I want to do then. So I can do a few things. I can set them back on 1 land by getting rid of Utopia Sprawl in the Forest. I could set them back by hitting the spawn and ramping. Kind of like that play more. So I think I'll go... At the same time, we get rid of a red source, don't we, in case of a Stone Rain? That's an interesting prospect, isn't it? And then we can kick the Mycospawn the following turn. Yeah, that would be a thought. Of course, they can just fetch for a Stomping Grounds. That's a thought as well. What to do? Let's go E-Temp regardless. I think I'm gonna go K-Command X2. That pushes me up to 4. Or I could go Curiosity, or it pushes me up to 6. Curiosity would push me up to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 as well. Just one spawn though. I will go Talisman of Curiosity. And then K-Command, Ramp, Exile, and done. And pass. Fetch. Commercial District. Utopia Sprawl to Yard and pass. Like I said, next turn I can kick a Mycospawn and opponent scoops it up immediately. GG's. Alright, solid win for round 4. We'll be back for round 5. Alright, and we're back for round 5. On the draw for game 1, I'll keep, I'll pass, Verdant Catacombs, fetch Force, Utopia Spar for red, Ugin's Lab, Imprint Emrakul, maybe Malevolent Rumble beforehand. Actually, I think I might go Verdant Catacombs Forest. Actually, we could go... Let's do this. Let's go... Oh, Urza Saga. Okay, so this is still... Yes, okay. K-Command is good. Oh, I guess that's right. I was thinking Hobo was on Energy, but no, they're on Broodscale. So yes, let's go Verdant Catacombs. Fetch. For Stomping Ground. Shock. Utopia Sprawl for green. And pass. And pass. The question now becomes whether or not we can Kozilek's Command or not, right? There's Temple. Do they have the Glaring Flesh Rake? No green sources yet. The Kozilek's Command. Interesting. If they go green source... Trying to think if they have a path to win. I think the safest move is probably Kozilek's Command here. So I'm going to hold the Kozilek's Command. And if they don't, then we can go Kozilek's Command, X equals 2, and try and dig for a Karn. There's K Command X1. Zero top, 1 bottom, draw, pass. Sanctum of Ugin, trigger. I don't think they have Pith main, so I'm not having to worry about Pith Needle, I don't think. But probably Springleaf Drum is my guess. That way they can get green. Yep, I was right about the Springleaf, which would suggest to me that they do have the Broodscale. There's the Broodscale. Attempt to equip, in response, ramp, and exile. 3 cards left in hand. Done. Broodscale down. Pass in full. Forest. Halfling resolves. Draw. Lab. In that case, I'm going to go Rumble number 1. There's Karn, the Great Creator. So I can go Rumble number 2 if I wanted. Alternatively, I could just play Sanctum. At the very least, we're definitely playing Karn, right? Could go Rumble number 2. What would we want to find, though? A 7-mana value spell to tuck underneath Lab. To get us to 4, 6. Right now we have 6, though, so I could just very easily go KGC. I think I'll just go Sanctum. Trigger Blade. Play KGC. We can minus KGC for Liquid Metal. And then just start stripping lands. Go to Upkeep. Local Metal Coating, target Temple, and pass. They don't play Thief of Existence, so we're fine there. Attack Karn, that's fine. We have K command next turn. Six, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We just get rid of Saga, call it a day. There's Besage who endures. Yeah, that's fine. I'll go Hedge Maze, Trigger, Utopia Sprawl to Yard. I think I have 8 types in Yard now. I do. Let's see, 10, 11, 12, 13. So I'm going to return Emrakul to hand. Play a Forest 8, 10, 12, 13. Emrakul. Trigger Sanctum. Do I need to do that right now? Not really. And we'll call it there. So this is Basking Broodscale, win for game 1. Let's move on to game 2. So let's go Consign to Memory, Dismember, bring those in, cut Emrakul, cut Ghost Quarter. What, Sire Chrysalis, is that right? I forget if I cut Bog. I don't think I can cut Bog. Let me confirm here. That's why I have a sideboard guide. Double Writhing Chrysalis. Sire was correct, though. Okay, so Double Writhing Chris. And run back like this. Okay. Yeah, the Ghost Quarters, I think, is a necessary concession, as much as I would like to be able to hit, like, a Saga or a Soul Land, right? I mean, we have Dismember. The problem that I see here, if we draw into a green source, is pretty good, though. We have 9 hits off the top, including Talisman 13. Yeah, we'll go for it. It's a bit risky, but I think we're okay. Prismatic Vista, fetch. Forest. Ancient Stirrings, Finds. What? Finds Blade of the Blood Chief, okay. Draw, Consign, Temp Pass. Glaring Flesh Rake. I mean, it within its own right is a danger to me, but I don't think I can dismember this. We pass, we draw, green source, Karn. Do we hold the lab? I don't think I can, so we'll go lab, no imprint, pass, hold dismember, pass, they'll play the blade, trigger flesh rake. You need a land, right? No. Saga, trigger. 1, 2, 3, another flesh rake. This is getting concerning now. Yes, resolves. Down to 18. Play the Blood Chief. Since they use the green, that tells me that they do in fact not have the Basking Broodscale in hand. But this is not looking great right now. There's a lot of damage that comes through very quickly. If I drew into a green source sooner, we'd be in a better spot. But right now, it's not looking great. Yep. Trigger. Haywire Might. I mean, now it's out of range is the problem. Yeah, I should have probably done this earlier. I mean, we'll do this, we'll pass. I should have done it in response to the triggers. That way it took a little less damage. It's not great, but here we are. State-based actions, yep. Down to 6. Probably could have been 2 higher, 1 higher, 7. Yeah. Equip. Yeah, not looking good. Yeesh. I mean, they will be able to attack in for 4. Yeah, we'll just concede. Unfortunately, did not draw into the lands, or into the lands I needed. We whiffed on 3 on like 13 hits, I think I said. So, it is what it is. Sometimes variance is in your favor, and sometimes not so much. Felt confident keeping that hand, though. Dump the gemstone, bring back in a chrysalis, and run it back. On the play for game 3. Consign, no blue. Ugh. Like, I could keep this hand, but I'm thinking I'm going to mulligan. This is better. Much better, in fact. So, we want to keep Ugin Lab's Sire, Forest, Utopia Sprawl for red. Keep the return, drop the Rumble. Yes, I think so. Forest, Sprawl red, pass, and pass. This allows me to KGC on 2, fetch, Prismatic Vista, Forest, 4, Stirrings, okay. There's Broodscale. Draw. Lab. Imprint. They need a Thief of Existence. Mine is KGC. Yes. For liquid metal coating. Try and close them out with a turn 2 KGC. Pass. They have a soul land into Thief, that would be a good out. Otherwise, I think we might be okay, because we'll be able to K Command X2 the Broodscale if they play it. Liquid metal coating, then start stripping lands, and that should close things out the game. Oh boy. Might just be what we need. Prismatic Vista, so no Thief. Goes for a wasteland, or not a wasteland, but a waste. Plays the Broodscale as a beater. passes. K command, X equals 2, ramp and exile. And done. Play Liquid Metal Coating. Liquid Metal Coating target forest. Plus KGC. And pass. And pass. This way we play around Beseiju. Ancient Stirrings. Finds a Broodscale. Draw. Local Metal Coating. Target Beseiju. KGC plus. Plays Breeding Pool. Tapped. And pass. Hold up K return. And pass. And opponent scoops it up. We got there. That's our win and in for top 8. We're guaranteed at least a 5-1 record. So we'll definitely be making the top here today. Next match is just a pleasantry. That said, we'll be back for round 6. Alright, and we're back for round 6. On the play for game 1. We'll keep this. Go Misty Rainforest, fetch for forest. Utopia Sprawl for red into Chrysalis. My opponent asked if I'd be willing to scoop them in, but I unfortunately have already started recording, and even then, honestly, I'm here to play some Magic. I want to play it out. It also lets me get a good read on what opponent's playing, and I think guarantees me a higher seat, which, give and take there. Looks like it's energy, Guide of Souls. Eldrazi Temp. No reason to K return just yet. Next turn we can World Break. Slot Pride, trigger, Guide of Souls. Arid Mesa, fetch, trigger, or rather shock. Slot Pride, trigger, Guide of Souls. Pass in full. Double triggers. Draw. Hoogan's Lab. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So like we could go Stomping Ground or Lab for World Breaker, but I think we will just go. I'm trying to think if I want to wait till their upkeep or not. Is there a benefit to do so? I'm going to trigger, always yield, trigger, always yield, K return, sweep, Stomping Ground, tap, go to combat. And pass. Next turn we can World Break. A Johnny. Temple. 4, 5, 6, 7. Unfortunately, won't be able to attack in with the Chrysalis. We don't want to flip a Johnny, and opponent scoops. Opponent scoops. Alright, solid win. Yeah, I mean, I respect them for asking the question. It's a valid question given that I'm already locked in. I'll bring in the Dismember. And we're on the draw. That's where Trinisphere and Chalice kind of feel a bit rough. We can bring in the EE though, trim on Karn, trim on Ghost Quarter, and then we can bring in the Chalice and Trinisphere next on game 3. Maybe give it some thought whether or not I want to scoop them in at the end. I mean, I have no qualms with it, but at the same time, it's one of those situations of like, I did this at an RCQ and scooped someone in, and people got salty. And after that, I went, maybe I won't do this again. Maybe being nice isn't worth it. So, I don't know. It's something that I have to consider. But looks like opponent's disconnected, so we'll take a moment to kind of contemplate that thought. Let me know down in the comments. I actually am generally curious on people's thoughts on scooping people into top 8. How even scooping the people while you're in top 8, right? Especially if RCQ season coming up, if you already have your invites and someone else doesn't. Like, do you just scoop people into the next round? Yeah, it's one of those things where, like, I'm not sure. I think it's just easier to play Magic, right? If you win, you win. If you lose, you lose. At the same time, like, I don't know, would I ask someone to scoop me in? I don't know, I don't think I ever would. I don't think I'd ever assume that someone would be willing to. Utopia Sprawl would get us there. Yeah, we'll keep this. Dump. I think we dump the Sire. I'll dump the Sire. And pass. So yeah, I don't know. I would love to get other people's thoughts. Utopia Sprawl off top. Let's go. No. In that case, Forest. Pass. Soul End off top would be nice. Yeah, that or a Talisman of Impulse. Talisman of Impulse would be good. Voice of Victory. Okay. Well, that does make things a bit more complicated, doesn't it? Draw. Talisman of Curiosity. Kind of what I need, but not. Pass. And pass. Voice of Victory definitely does well. For 3. Hasting? What is this? Season Pyro, Trigger. Maybe it'll float the Guide of Souls, either out of Voice, but they're going to get a lot of energy and a lot of life of Flasion to Yard as well. Yee. This is looking interesting. So definitely need a red source so I can sweep. What do you float though? Float the Guide, okay. Draw. Dismember. That's not enough. I mean, I can Kozilek's Command, exile the Guide, make some spawns. Or make a spawn, rather. And done. And hold. I guess I can't hold. Never mind. That's right. Can't dismember, so we're just blocking. Blocking the Season Pyro, I suppose. Well, I guess I should hold up the ability to respond on the off chance that they use a Galvanic Discharge. Molten Rain, yee. Down to 9. Well, that makes things complicated, doesn't it? Mobilize. Go to blocks. Block. Pass. Number 4. Draw. That's not it. I'll concede. Loss for game 2. Yeah, I mean, the double K returns was appealing, right? We found a Utopia Sprawl, we found a Talisman of Impulse. I mean, we had a lot of good hits off the top. You know, fetch land or just the Stomping Grounds. I felt like that was good enough. We had 4, 6, 10 hits. Soul Lands would push us up to 18. So yeah, I think it was worth doing that. Cut the Gemstone Cavern, bring in Trinisphere, Chalice. And cut the Karn, cut an Emrakul, and run it back. But yeah, I think that one negative experience where I did scoop someone in and people got salty about it, I think kind of soured my generosity in scooping people in. I mean, yeah, we can keep this. We have a lot of good hits off the top. I'm going to imprint the Ugin in case we feel like we want to evoke the Null Drift, right? Flooded Strand, fetch, Sacred Foundry, shock, Ragavan, dismember the Ragavan. Goodbye, monkey. No treasure for you. Draw, Myco Spawn. Double red. So they won't be able to Molten Rain or Charmaw. Interesting. And I could go Breeding Pool, Shock, Null Drift, or Evoke, giving me more options. We're still able to play the Myco Spawn the following turn. Alternatively, playing the Ugin Lab opens me up to Chalice on 2, opens me up to K Command. I should probably still hold up the ability to respond on the off chance they play Boom Bust, right? Land, fetch, shock, 14, Guide of Souls, N2, Onslaught Pride, passing, draw, Emrakul. Forest, Myco Spawn, casting. Myco Spawn for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We'd be short. I kind of want to go fetch land for Stomping Grounds, honestly. Yeah, I think that might be right. I'm gonna go... I guess I could just go straight into the Stomping Grounds tapped. There's no reason not to. I think we do that. Stomping Grounds tapped and pass. And we just want to set up for that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We also could have maybe have gone towards the direction of... Ooh, a Johnny. They don't have a way to flip. I mean, I can't block the cats. They float the Ocelot Pride. No blocks. Draw. Sprawl. Let's see. Return Drifter to hand. Breeding Pool, shock. Not sure if maybe I should have done this way. I mean, it's still interesting. So I don't have enough for the K return regardless, right? I guess we'd have enough for... Okay, so let's Utopia Sprawl for 1. We'll go for red. Null Drifter, Evoke. Draw 2. Chalice for 1. Yeah, I guess we'll Chalice for 1. And pass. Oh, thrilled by this board state. Especially if they float something with the Guide of Souls. Another Johnny. Yee. Thankfully, oh no, I think I'm dead. Because, well, I guess I can now block a cat. Guide of Souls triggers. So they'll be able to float 1. They can plus all the cats, right? Am I dead? I might be. I mean, that's at least 4, 9. Yeah, I'm dead. Okay. I block. Actually, I block. And dead. Yeah? Yeah. How much am I at? Maybe shocking was the wrong move. 0. Yeah, that's funny actually. I mean, if they had just floated the 3-2 instead, I would have blocked a 2-2. I'd have taken an additional Uh, 2 damage. So it didn't matter. Because if they didn't float the Guide of Souls, they floated the cat. We would have been dead regardless. Okay, yeah. GG's. Yeah, I just didn't find the right cards at the right time. I do wonder if maybe I should have gone into Lab, Tuck, Emrakul, go for Ugin, maybe? It was something that I considered rather than trying to set up for the Stomping Ground, right? Yeah. I think that's hard for me to say. Because, like, the Stomping Ground, if you drew into a K return, you just would have been off to the races. Lugan would have been good, though. Don't get me wrong. Gain 3 life, exile something. Yeah, 1, 2, 3. I think Forest 4, 5, 6, but this was tapped. Meaning that I wouldn't have been able to play the Ugin that following turn. So yeah, I don't know. Weird. Either ways, sometimes win some, sometimes lose some, sometimes roll the dice, and sometimes variance is not in your favor. But that being said, we'll be 5-1 going into the quarterfinals of the top 8. We'll be back in just a few short moments. Alright, and we're back for the quarterfinals of... On the play for game 1. Sorry, I got mildly distracted by a bunch of students outside. And this is a mulligan. I mean, I could keep this hand. Do I like the hand? Like, what makes this redeemable? I guess a soul land into Rumble wouldn't be bad. It's not great, though, is the problem. Like, we could go into a Rumble on 2. I'll keep it since I'm on the play. Drop a command. Opponent goes down to 6 as well. We'll go Forest, see if we can get into a Temple. That we can Rumble. And see if we can hit a Sewing Mike spawn into another. Actually, yeah, even if we go Rumble, Temple, and then hold up K command. Yeah, there's a few different lines that I'm not opposed to here. I guess do need some lands, though. Ideally a soul land. Forest, pass. I'd love to have had a Utopia Sprawl, of course. Looks like Belcher. In that case, we're going to go Verdant Catacomb, fetch. Stomping Ground, shock. See if they have a counterspell. They do not. I'm going to go Sowing Myco Spawn. And pass. And pass. The question now is whether or not we Lotus Bloom into exile. Okay. Okay. I'm going to go Utopia Sprawl for red. Chrysalis. This way we can kick and go for a Ghost Quarters next turn. Trainer. Trainer fine. Seagate. Seagate. Tapped. Pass. Draw. Another Sprawl. 6. Kick. I will say I'm not thrilled by the fact that I don't have any color sources after this, though. Would have loved the land. Okay, so let's do this. I don't want to risk the Utopia Sprawl, so trigger 1. Always yield. Trigger 2. Kick. I will kick, I think, the archive first. We could go temple. I think the Ghost Quarter is correct. Ghost Quarter, ETB trigger. Flare hits the body. And we'll Ghost Quarter the Seagate. And pass. So we were right to play around the flare, it looks like. Now we need to find a Karn or something. Another temple off top would be good. Hedge Maze is not it. Temple. Yeah, we'll do temple on top. For red again. The combat. Okay, well they're gonna have the Lotus Bloom. Do they have Tameshi? They sack it for white, they have the Tameshi. The question is whether or not they'll have enough. Blue. Or what? I mean, yeah, this smells of Tameshi. Yep. Oh, they're just Char Belcher. Okay, so we just need to go for Karn. Draw. Temple. Actually, might just be able to win here, right? No reason not to go all out. 6. Bottom. 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 All. And draw. Alright, Writhing Chrysalis, let's see if we can do this. And done. This is lethal damage. Bottom. And then we'll be able to play Karn on top, which, just in case there was an off chance, but Chrysalis got there. Double K command for the win. Whew. Alright, good stuff. Win for game 1. Let's move on to game 2. Okay, let's see here. So K return out. You want Ghost Quarters in. Bog is one of those strange cards which could be dropped. Because we want Jailer. Do we want Trinosphere? Not sure about that. We want Dismember. Consign is also an option. I need to cut 4 cards. Probably a Sire's 7 deaths. Actually, a Sire's really doing nothing here, is it? Maybe keep them recool, drop 2 Chrysalis like this. Is that right? Keep the Ghost Quarter, keep the Bog. Let me double check and see if I have a sideboard guide for Belcher. I do. Really? So I do suggest, I guess maybe cutting Bog does make sense. And when I say cutting Ugin, cut Sire. I think double Sire's actually right here. Cut double Writhing Chrysalis. What's the last card I bring in? Consign, Jailer, Brain. And then keep the Chalice because Chalice, yeah, I think that actually does make sense. I'll do that. Cut the Bog, because yeah, once it gets into Yard, it's kind of already too late, right? So yeah, I think just cut double sire instead makes sense. Let's run it back like this. Okay. Let's see if we can get the win here. Consign is good. Yeah, I think this is keepable. Let's keep. Pass. You can go Forest, Sprawl if you draw into a 7-mana value spell. We do not. We could go red, but there's no red in our deck at this point, so going blue is correct. For blue, and pass, and pass. Two, trainer finds. Spell Snare, Utopia Sprawl. So I can go Cavernous Souls, name Eldrazi. Hold up the green. Play the Talisman, Utopia Sprawl. I'll go for red just so we have more colors available to us in case we do need to EE. So for red, and hold up the Consign. Next turn I can kick the Myco Spawn. The smells of a whir. Hedge Maze. See, I'm a little bit worried about two things. I need to hold up a blue source for the Consign, but they might also have a Consign. If they have a Consign, though, is that okay? I mean, if they Consign, they don't have Whir, but if they have Land Char Belcher, we'd be in trouble. 4, 5, let's go for it. No imprint. Green. Kick the Myco Spawn. And kick the Seagate. Blue, float. And I think we just go Breeding Pool Shock here rather than to Ghost Quarter. And pass. So here comes the Whir. Fancy Whir. The question now is if they have a counter spell in hand, right? There's Tameshi. Tameshi bounce. Okay, now I have to question, why did we shock in the Breeding Pool? And I think the answer is obvious, right? Blue, Belcher, in response, Consign to memory. Would have loved if I had a Replicate. We got there. And pass. Draw, Null Drifter. Kick a Sowing Myco Spawn. Threaten another Consign to memory. Go after the white source. And then a Ghost Quarter. play the Hedge Maze. Windswept Heath to Yard. Go to combat. I'll hit the Tameshi. And no reason for me to not hit this now. Actually, there is a reason. Go to upkeep. Draw. Ghost Quarter in case you draw into your mountain. And pass. They do have their mountain, but no blue source now. Spurific Springs, they did pick it up. 2 for Falaji. They find the Char Belcher, but they need to get to that mana. Picks up Suppression Ray. Tells me they have a Tameshi in hand. Attack with Sylvan Mycospawn. Cast Null Drifter, make it uncounterable. 3, 4, 6, 7, 7. Hold up a blue source. Damn. Alright. At least the Annihilator will start chipping away. Go to combat. Annihilator 1, sacrifices the Falaji. Block. Play. Malevolent Rumble. Spell Snare out of hand. I think we hold up command. Yes. They play Tameshi. Falaji. Trigger. There's Consign. But you need a way to deal with the Null Drifter, right? Chooses Consign. How are we dealing with the Null Drifter? And phone scoops it up. We got there. Solid win for the quarterfinals. We'll be back for the semifinals in just a few short moments. Alright, and we're back for the semifinals of tonight's challenge against Helpful Hobo again. So this is against Basking Broodscale combo. I'll keep. I'm tempted to go Misty Rainforest Fetch for a Stomping Grounds to hold that up, but I think we go Eldrazi Temple to start off with. That way we can find ourselves with a Soul Land ideally, and then get a K Command X2. There's the Lighted Halfling. Tempted to actually Bolt the Bird here. There's the K return. So yes, I think I will... Now it's Forest, K Command, X1 Ramp, Bolt the Bird, and pass, and hold, yeah. We'll hold on the off chance that's relevant. Fetch for a waste, for a forest. Another delighted halfling. Another delighted halfling. Draw. Ugin's Lab. I think I Misty Rainforest. Fetch. Stomping Ground, Shock. Talisman of Curiosity. And K-Return. And pass. And pass. Fetch of the Prismatic. Waste. Might. I can go after Talisman, I suppose. It's not the end of the world, and if that's all they're doing, then I'm okay with that. Imprint, Ugin, and hold. So we can X equals 4. Beseiju, Flesh Rake, 2, 4, 5, 6, go to end step. I'm not sure I actually care about Flesh Rake right now. 2 cards in hand. For 4. In Temple, we have a land. I'm gonna go bottom, bottom, top and top, draw Rumble, draw World Break. I'm going to Rumble, grab E-Temp, play E-Temp. Yeah, I guess we'll cast the World Breaker. Get rid of their colorless source. And clear. And pass. And pass. It's aggressive, but I think it's right. Wonder if maybe I should have held the Ugin up. There's Broodscale. Writhing Chris. Go to combat. Do they have the Blade of the Blood Chief is the question, or will they find a way to get to it? 2, 3, 4. Probably should have held that actually in retrospect. No reason to play it right now. Triggers. And hold. Actually, I guess we should put a pause on end step. At the very least, as long as they don't have... There's the blade, so they can make it infinitely big, but do they have a payoff is the question. Ballista trigger. They have 1 card in hand now. And at this point, we just until end of turn. Until end of turn. The question becomes, do they have a payoff? Tell them that they show me the K command, I'll concede. Damn. Yeah, I wonder if the right move was to hold the Ugin. I mean, I guess that wouldn't have mattered. I would have been able to draw one more card, right? Draw a card. Oh, no! Because we had 1, 2. We had x equals 4. Right? X equals 4. 5, 6. 7. 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5, 6, 7, 8. I mean, I've drawn into the K command, I suppose. No, I'm not sure it would have mattered. I'd have to look back exactly at my mana at that time if I could have played the Ugin and still had up enough to K command, but I don't think I did. So we cut Gemstone, we cut Ghost Quarter, we cut Emrakul, I cut Sire and 2 on a Writhing Chrysalis, is that right? Let me confirm. Against Broodscale, Sire, Emrakul, yes. Okay. Let's run it back. Yeah, I'll have to look back and see. It's possible that I wouldn't have had enough for the X2 because I would have needed 4 mana left over, right? Ugh, rough. On the play for game 2, I'll keep. Can we go Hedge Maze? Yeah, that way we can hold up the consign. Hedge Maze, trigger, Micro Spawn, top, pass, pass. Delighted Halfling. Debating whether or not we rumble this turn. I think we do. Rumble. I want the lab, but I want the Karn more. Karn. And pass. And pass. Delighted Halfling. Colorless for Blade. Temple. 2. For command to exile spawn. They're hoping I don't have a land, basically. Forest. For Karn. I mean, I can be gutsy here if I really wanted. They can't pump the Delighted Halfling, and I don't think they can deal 1 more damage out of the blue, so I could still go Liquid Metal. Minus Liquid Metal Coating, no fear, pass. Next turn I can play the Myco Spawn, Imprint, Liquid Metal, play Verdant Catacombs, and hold up Consign. Saga. Attack at Karn. Yep, down to 1 loyalty. So let's play Verdant Catacombs. Cast Sowing Myco Spawn, not kicked. Ugin Lab. Imprint. Breaker. Cast Coding. Coding target Saga. Float 1. Resolve. Karn tick up. So they could K command. That's why we have the consign. Fetch. Breeding pool shock. Consign to memory. And done. Pass. And pass. Next turn we can World Breaker, get rid of Boseiju. We got there though. So lost for game 1, win for game 2. Basking Broodscale. On to game 3. You want the gemstone back, so we cut the second Writhing Chrysalis and run it back. On the draw, I will keep. Love to find a lab. Ancient Stirrings. Finds a Basking Broodscale. That is frightening, so I really do need a lab here. Dismember actually helps out a lot, so we're going to go Forest and hold. And hold. Temp. Flesh Rake. Flesh Rake will resolve. I will pass and draw. I'd love to hold up this consign, but it is right to play the impulse. Shock, Talisman, and hold, and hold. So we really need a land off top. Thing is, the Flesh Rake is genuinely an issue for us. It is a house in its own right. Saga trigger. Thief of Existence. Interesting. Float. Trigger. I mean, a phase change is fine. They can't win this turn, I don't think. Attack for 2, down to 16. 4 cards in hand. Draw. Land. Okay, return. Gotta be joking me. There's a world where I might actually need to dismember the thief to draw a card. Because we can consign the Basking Broodscale. I wonder if that is right. Weird. The Saga is also an issue, though, that I do kind of find myself concerned with. I'm going to dismember the thief. As strange as it sounds, we'll hold up the consign. Draw a card. Okay. Hold up consign. Cavernous Souls guarantees the resolution of Basking Broodscale, so the second dismember is beneficial. Attack. Down to 10. And passing. Land. Jesus Christ almighty. Alright, we're gonna go for Rumble. There's that soul land we've been praying for this entire godforsaken time. It's a little bit late to the party. Imprint the Ugin. We can still make this work though. Oh, it's going to be a bit ugly, I think. Alright, we hold. Hi, zombie cat. K command X4. Really? That's 5 damage on board right now. I mean, they're gonna have the blade, so I can't say no to this is the problem. So I'll take the 5 down to 5, a theoretical 3. Yikes. Yield on end of turn. Which means I need to block the Flesh Rake with the token. Because I need to spend 4 on this Broodscale. Float. They have a second Broodscale MSOL, right? Ah, shit. Right. I'm just dead regardless. Right? Because I'm going to take the 1 off the Flesh Rake. Is there anything I can do? No, I'm just dead. Shit. Yeah, that K command sealed it. Just found lands way too late. Yeah. Well, that sucks. That Thief Existence actually was really impactful. Yeah, I mean, we concede because ETB hits me for 2 down to 3. This member's busted. I guess. Okay, so here's what we have to do then. I actually have to hit that now. Because if I don't, I die. Oh, do you have something else? You slow roll the freaking K command? No shot. No shot. Yeah, you slow rolled it. Well, that's just rude. Yeah, we can see. GG's. I mean, it made sense. They're playing around with Dismember. And it didn't even matter then if that was successful, because they would just searched infinitely. Yeah, I'm gonna chalk that one up to variance. That Thief of Existence hitting the Talisman also was really impactful. But the fact that we just didn't see any lands for such a long time really hurt. Because if we had earlier, obviously we had the Karn just rotting in our hand. Damn. Damn. Alright, well, it is what it is. Sometimes win some, sometimes lose some. I mean, at the end of the day, I can't really complain too much ending today with, what, a 5-2 record? Is that right? That was, how many? 8. So a 6-2 record. So I can't complain too much in the grand scheme of things. We played our best, just could not get there in the end. I do still wonder about game one, whether or not I had enough mana. I don't think I did to get to Ugin, draw, and then have Command X2 up. I think we were just short, unfortunately. But with that being said, that there will be the end of today's video. As always, if you guys did enjoy it, please do consider hitting the like button. If you saw any lines that I missed, any mistakes that I made, or any general feedback, it is always appreciated. For as much as I hope that you all learn from me in both my success and failures, I hope I can learn from you all as well. Last but not least, if you have reached this point in the video and haven't already, please do consider hitting the subscribe button. We're getting closer and closer to our next goal of 1,000 subscribers, which at that point we will be able to begin monetizing these videos, allowing to make more and more Magic the Gathering content and save up towards a streaming PC so I can stream live on Twitch. In the meantime, if you want to support me monetarily, you can do so over on my Patreon, where you can get early access to my videos as well as updates to my deck guides. My voice is feeling a little bit less raspy, so I should be able to start recording my video deck guide here, or deck overview, probably sometime this week as well, so look forward to that. With that being said, folks, I'll see y'all next time. Bye-bye!